Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to solve the next question from cracking the coding interview. That is check permutation. Let's get started. Given two strings, you need to write an algorithm to determine whether string S1 is a permutation of S2. So how can we approach this problem? Let's understand with an example. S1 is equal to what? Anagram A N A E R A F and string S2 is N A G A-R-A-M. So the string S1 and S2 contains same characters but in a different order, right? That is called permutation. So what will be the brute force way of solving this problem? It will be like finding all the permutations of string S1, right? And comparing each permutation with string S2. And if any one of the permutation matches with S2, then we will return true. If not, we will return false. What is the time complexity of this approach? It will be like n factorial, right? It's like so expensive. Can we reduce this time complexity? Can we like reduce it to like a linear time or a logarithmic time? Yeah, we can do it, right? Let's understand the intuition behind the optimal solution here. So let's consider an example. Let's say string S1, which is equal to AAB, and string S2, which is equal to ABA, right? So, like, what is computation? Like, it's like the same characters but in a different order, right? So, what if we can just sort the string? That is, sort the characters in the string. What will happen then? If you sort string S1, it will be like what? A, B. If I sort string S2, it will be like A, B, right? So, here, after sorting both the strings are equal, right? They are same, identical. So, we can say like string S1 is a permutation of string S2. We can just return true for this, right? So, like, what is the time complexity of this approach? Like the sorting approach. It will be like what? O of n log n, right? Where n is the size of string S1. And the space complexity will be, it will be like O of 1, right? We are not using any extra memory here. But can we reduce this? Like, can we reduce this time complexity into like something linear? Yeah, we can like do it, right? Let's understand the optimal solution here. So let me just take what? I'll take string S1. Maybe yes, I'll take a new slide. And string S1 will be what? Let's say silent. And string S2 will be listen. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to like take each string and calculate the frequency of each and every character in the given string. And then we are going to just compare the frequency of characters. And if the frequency is same for both the strings, then we can just say they are permutation, right? Because they are just arranged in a different order. Let me explain like what I said now with an example. So for the string S1, let me just take what is the frequency of yes here? Like how it works. My current pointer is in first zeroth index. So yes. The count of S is one. And then the count of I is one, L is one, and E is one, N is also one, and T is also one, right? Okay. So let me take string S2. So what is the frequency of L here? It is one, right? There is only one L. And what is the frequency of I, it is one. What is the frequency of S? It is one. What is the frequency of T? It is one. What is the frequency of E? It is 1. And what is the frequency of N? It is 1, right? So we can like just see like the both the string contains the same characters with same frequency. S is 1, S is 1, I is 1, I is 1, L is 1, L is 1, E is 1, E is 1, N is 1, N is 1, P is 1, P is 1, right? So we can just say like both string S1 and S2 is permutation to each other. What is the edge case here? Like, what if the length of string S1 is not equal to length of string S2? We can just directly return false for this, right? Because there is no way like these two strings contain same amount of characters in it. So the frequency will be different, right? So we'll be handling this edge case and we are going to implement this algorithm. Before like implementing this algorithm, like what is the time complexity here? What is the time complexity of this algorithm? Mm, it will be like what? O of n, right? We are just iterating the string once, right? What is the space complexity? It will be like O of 26 or like let's say 128 for ASCII values. Okay, so let's put the solution. Let me just create a class. Suppose okay, like check, check permutation. Just start that one. And then what public static void main. Uh, let's code our solution as a method. It will be like a public method which returns a boolean value, like the method name is check permutation, which takes two inputs, right? String S1 and string S2. So let's initialize our frequency array. Frequency will be of size what? 128 as for ASCII values, right? And I'm going to just return or true of I will return true. And what we are going to do is we are going to iterate through each and every character in the string and then like set the frequency in the frequency array. So for char c in S1 dot to char array. So what is the frequency of c is what? I'm just going to increment the frequency and then while iterating the frequency of second, like calculating the frequency of second string, what I'm going to do is I'm going to like do a little bit of optimization here. What I'm going to do is string s2 dot to char array. That is, I'm going to reduce the frequency here. Okay, like I'm going to reduce the character frequency, and then we are going to check if the array contains any non-zero element. If it contains any non-zero element, then what? We can directly return false, right? So what is frequency of c minus minus, and if frequency of c is less than zero, then what? We are going to return false, right? So let's just verify our solution. Without text permutation. Oh, I have not declared the method as static. I'll just declare it as static. Then we'll just pass to input parameters. So what is our example? It's listen, right? Listen, comma, that is silent, comma, listen. So for that, it should return true, right? It's returning true. I'm going to just add three more characters, random, and then it should return false for this. Yeah, it's returning false. So we should handle the edge case here, right? So if the size of two strings are different, then we can directly return false, right? Length is not equal to f2 dot length. We can directly return false here. Then just rerun the case, and then it works. That's the solution for check permutation. And give it a like if it was helpful, and leave a comment for any queries. See you in the next one. Tata.